Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Adam here with Retro Repairs, and it's time for another quick repair video. So what I've got here is an Xbox 360 controller. Now, granted, a little bit newer than what I typically do on this channel, but this is one of my original Xbox 360 controllers I've had since the system first came out. I'm going to say in, I don't know, what, 2006, I think? So it's getting up there in age, and as you can see, there's a little, the thumbstick's worn out. And it's just dirty. You see all the crap in here. Fun fact, if you weren't aware, this dirt in there, that's not just dust and dirt and stuff. That's decaying skin cells. So nice tasty treat in there for you. So basically what I'm doing in this video, I'm going to open it up, clean it out for you. In the second video, I'm going to show you how to replace this thumbstick. So I guess we'll get started. First thing, of course, turn her over. Take the batteries out. If you've left your batteries in too long and they're all corroded and crap, then you're gonna have to clean this out as well. But fortunately, these didn't sit too long, so this is in not bad shape. What you're gonna need, ideally, is this little guy here. So this is it's a little Torx screwdriver with a hole in the middle, because these use a special security screw, as you can see right there, and there's a little post poking out the middle, so it goes around that post. It does get a little challenging around here because this actually won't reach all the way in, so I'm going to show you how to get around that. So first thing we're doing, just removing these screws. I'm going to take out these first 4, and then I'm going to show you how to get these two deep ones. So pretty straightforward, really just unscrew them. There we go. Before I go too far, one more thing I want to show you. See this A button? Just nice and crusty and gross, so definitely needs to be cleaned. Okay, onto these 2 security screws down here. So my drill bit won't reach. Not drill bit, sorry. My screwdriver bit won't reach. If you have a long one, you might be able to get in there, but there's a trick that I can use that to get around that. So what you need is a small flathead screwdriver. I think this is 1.5 millimeters. And what I'm going to try and do here is, I'm going to show you kind of on one of these. Get my screwdriver head in here and then just pop the middle pin off if I can. Just going to snap it. So I'm going to get started on this guy. So work your way in here. It's a little difficult to see what you're doing, but if you can get it to sit in, try unscrewing it, and eventually you'll probably, there we go, popped it right off. And I already did that for this one as well. So next, what you're going to want is a T8 bit. So it's a Torx size 8, and just take that screw straight out. So since there's no longer that little post in the middle, it's not really a security screw anymore, it's just a Torx screw. If you felt so inclined, you could actually do that to all of these screws to avoid needing the special security bit. Because, I mean, no one's really going to care. These aren't in warranty anymore, so Microsoft's not going to yell at you. Alright, so now we gotta pry this guy apart, and there's gonna be some gunk kind of holding this together. So, but you don't want to go reefing on this because I'm sure there's something that shouldn't be pulled. There is one more screw that I forgot about, and that's actually in here underneath the serial number on the back. So you're going to want to get in here with tweezers or something. If you plan on putting this sticker back, be careful. Try not to rip it. If you're not planning on putting it back, then I guess go nuts. I'm probably going to put this back, I think, but I'm just going to peel it back and remove this with the security drill screw bit. There we go. So now this should come apart relatively easily. And there we go. So this is the guts of this. We've got the 2 rumbles on the side here that give you the vibrate function. All the circuitry here, and I mean the board itself's in pretty good shape. There's really not much to go wrong on this. I mean, in theory, if it got really abused or left out in the heat, something could fail, but this controller works. I've never had any issues with it working aside from those sticky buttons, and really that's about it. So I'm not going to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is lift the board out, and you got to pop these thumbsticks off. So they should just pop straight up like that, and put those off to the side. When you go to replace the thumbsticks, actually it's as simple as just popping them right in here, get the new ones, put them in place. I've ordered some new ones, they're not in yet, so I'm going to make a second video about replacing the thumbsticks, but this one will be primarily just about cleaning this up. So let's put this off to the side. Let's try and get these buttons off, actually. It's a kind of interesting little mechanism here. So a little analog trigger. You should be able to just pop that straight up. All right, so removing the triggers, kind of a little bit of a pain sometimes, but all you really do, you see when you push it down, this bar here goes down. So we want to grab the inside of it and pull in while pushing out on this bar, and it should clear, and then you can snap this bar straight down, just like that. Now, grabbing both of these, you see these posts that stick up, grabbing them both and kind of just giving some pressure outwards, we should be able to clear it. Might be easier with some sort of tool as well. There we go. Now this should come straight off. Be careful that spring doesn't go anywhere, and then the trigger will come right out. So hang on to the spring, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. So clear that post, put that down. You can use the assistance of a little flat edge or something to pry this open. And there we go. So that's both of those out, ready to be washed. Flipping the board over, give it a good inspection. The thumbsticks are still nice and stiff, so I don't have to worry about replacing those or anything. If they were bad, I mean, they can be replaced. You can buy replacement ones, I'm sure. I haven't looked into it because these are still in good shape. Take a look at these pads. If you see any buildup on these, you're going to want to clean them off. These are actually in really good shape, so I'm not even going to worry about it. So I'm going to put this board off to the side. We're going to turn our attention to the main shell here. So just like every controller made, well, every button controller made since basically after the Atari, they use these little conductive pads. So we're just lifting the pads straight up. They're actually pretty clean, so I'm not even going to worry about these. But it's these buttons, there we go, that are going to need some care. So pop these buttons out. They are going to get washed. Yeah, looks like something spilled in here, so there's definitely some sticky stuff. So definitely going to get a hot bath, hot soapy bath, and just clean that all up. All right, D-pad. There are 2 Phillips screws, very small ones, inside the D-pad that hold it all together. So you need a very small precision Phillips screwdriver. So that's what I have right here. Just remove those, that's too small. Let's try this one. This one's my 3mm. There we go, that's perfect. forgot the start and I guess select. I'm gonna put that off to the side. These are your bumper buttons, so gonna get cleaned as well. This is the bottom part here, which again, gonna need to get cleaned. But this D-pad, why aren't you cooperating with me? Oh, there are two little releases, so getting my tweezers, there we go. And we're out. So that's what I was talking about right here, two little releases. So these get pinched in, and then it all comes apart. So this is what I got, and you can see the grime that's all built up here. This is just, like I said, old decaying fat and skin cells. So pretty gross. Being that it's about 13 years old, it's a pretty good time to clean it up, I think. So I'm gonna stick this all in some hot soapy water, give it a good scrub, and we'll come back to put it back together, I guess. Okay, so hot soapy water. And let all of it soak. Gonna leave it there for probably about 15 minutes and then give it a good scrub. Okay, so that's been soaking for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. So all I'm gonna do, grab this, give it a good wipe down with the washcloth here, and if necessary, got a toothbrush to get into some of the nooks and crannies, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this. So as you can see all along the edging here, all that built up decaying skin cells is gone. Honestly, you really didn't have to scrub these much at all. The hot water literally melted it off. So yeah, pretty gross. Looks pretty good now, so definitely recommend doing that. Sometimes with these little buttons here, or sorry, the little inlaid labels, start and back, 1, 2, 3, 4. You might have to take your toothbrush and get in there, but definitely recommend doing this to your controllers. The white ones are worse for that. They just show it more than other ones do, but definitely worth doing it. If you got some old controllers kicking around, crack them open, just give them a clean. So let's begin reassembling now. So I'm gonna start with the top of the shell here, and I'm gonna figure out which buttons go in where. So this Xbox button here, it fits into this little sleeve, and there's only one way you can put it in. There's two little notches here, and one is slightly larger. So if you try and put it in upside down, it doesn't fit nicely, and it doesn't pop out the other side. So rotate it until it fits in place nicely. There we go. And this should just slide, I think, down like that. Yeah, just like so. So, yep, there we go. And that button pops in and out like so. Perfect. These thumbsticks now are, I mentioned that I'm going to order some new ones, but for the time being, all I'm going to do is flip these thumbsticks over. This one was the worst because that's the one that gets used all the time, and it gets used pointing up more than anything. I used to play a ton of Madden, so you always go up in Madden. So what I'm going to do is take this one that was on the left stick, I'm going to put it in the right position, and again I'm going to put the worn out part facing up. I'm pretty sure we can do that. I'm gonna confirm with this sticks. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm gonna put that into the right stick position. Actually, that goes right on the board, so I'm not gonna do that at all. Now your A, B, X, and Y buttons. Again, if you know exactly where they're supposed to go, it shouldn't be hard. You know, you put your B there, so on and so forth, but they're only gonna fit nicely in one spot. You can't put them in the wrong place, so rotate them until they fit and sit in place there. I'm going to put the Y up where that belongs. I'm going to put, sorry, that's A. That goes down here. And then X. Come on. There we go. D-pad now. So this, I don't think it really makes too much of a difference as long as this part on the inside is aligned in a way that it will let you. So I guess like that. And then just line up these little releases here, line them up with the hole for it, and push it in place. There we go. So again, there's those two small screws that you're going to need to put back in. So now is a great time to do that before you forget. Otherwise, you'll be screwing this back together and realize you've got those two small little silver screws that need to go in. Good. Don't overscrew those. They will strip as there's not much plastic to it, so it did feel pretty weak when I... Where is my start and select? Okay, I've got my start and my back button. Sorry, not select. Just used to talking in, like Sega Nintendo terms, so these guys can go into place. Doesn't matter which one goes where. They're the same button, just facing the opposite way. So rotate it until it fits in. I forgot that it was camouflaged in with the soap suds, so don't forget that when you go to grab all your parts. So now we're going to put the conductive pads in place, and they just kind of sit there nicely like so. The one for the D-pad has this little loop at the bottom, and that goes on top of this post to hold it in place, and just sits there nicely. The left and right bumpers, I believe, go over top of these posts here, just like that. Perfect. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Now we're going to rebuild the board. So first things first, grab the board. I'm going to put these sticks on right now, just so I'm not grinding these, trying to break these sticks here. So I'm going to put this into place. Like I said, I'm going to rotate them so that the worn out part's pointing up on the right stick instead of down on the left stick. And then this one, I don't think it really matters. It's in good shape either way it goes, so I'm gonna put it on just like that. And then flip it over. So now we've got to put these buttons back into place. So let's see if I recall which one's which. Oh, it tells me. Perfect. Right trigger is going to be this guy here. So I'm going to need a spring. I'm going to need to pull this up. This might be a bit of an adventure, so let's see how we go. Okay, so that slides right into place over top of these posts at the end. You put the outside into place first. Oh, come on, there we go. And then that fits just like so. Now, you're going to have to get this spring down onto the post in there. So it sits just like that. And now, the next trick is going to be getting it back onto this little slide mechanism, which I really don't think should be overly difficult. Might have to slide apart these plastic bits again. There we go. Let's pull this up, push that to the side, and there we go. Perfect. So we'll do the same thing again over here. So I'm going to start by putting the outside on. Now it's sitting on those posts. I'm gonna grab my spring, hook it up like so. Gotta pull the outside post in a bit. And now lastly, give it some pressure and it should slide into place. There we go. Perfect. So now this should sit pretty nicely. I'm gonna have to get those buttons in first, the trigger buttons in, and then you fix those, you fit those little springs for the batteries right there. You might have to work those with your finger. I actually missed the slot there. As you can see, it's kind of out, so let's try that again. So all you're really doing, just pushing down enough to clear, flip it over, make sure that the springs are sitting in the guides here, and they are. Then these, I believe, just sit like that. Good. Then we put on that little gray bottom piece. Just like so. Now, this should go in rather smoothly, I'm hoping. Actually, this might be the tricky part. Because as soon as I flip this over, these are going to fall out. As soon as I flip this over, the buttons are going to fall out. So maybe we can meet it halfway. Actually, no. I think we're going to put everything into the front of the shell. So that goes in there. Because there's these little slots right here for the vibration to sit in. So let's do that. So again, making sure all these pads are flat. Let's just drop that nicely into place. That should be good. We can have this sit in place right there. Try and keep these wires tucked away as much as possible. Just like so. And now, do the same thing. So, left and right triggers go in first. You want to push these springs in so that they're going to sit in the guides. And now this should snap together perfectly. And there we go. So give each button a little push. Feels good. And let's screw it all back together. So I'm going to start with this one under the serial number. I'm going to put one with the security post. Oh, that one actually is missing it too. There we go. The one that requires the security bit right there, because I have full access. And again, don't over tighten it. You don't want to strip these screw posts. That should be good right there. And then flatten that serial number, and then just fill in the rest of the screws here. And there we go. So this should be good to go. I'm just going to pop these batteries in. Just want to see that it turns on. There we go. So that's, in a nutshell, how you open up and clean an Xbox 360 controller. So not overly difficult. Don't really need any special tools. You can get around those security screws using the technique I showed you earlier, but otherwise pretty straightforward, and I highly recommend doing it. Like I said, I'm going to have another video coming up soon where I replace the thumbsticks on this, and I'm going to do the same thing for one of my PS4 controllers, I think. It's also getting a little dirty and has bad thumbsticks, so I'm going to do all that in a future video. But appreciate you watching this one. I hope you're able to learn something. Hope you're able to take that and clean up and fix your own Xbox 360 controller. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.